This is the plaintiff, Jeff Pierre. He says the defendant used to work for him, and before she was fired, she refused to return the company-issued laptop she had in her possession. When he confronted her, she claimed the laptop was stolen in an alleged burglary at her house. Yeah, likely story. Bottom line, she won't return company property, and he's suing for the $2,915 he's owed. This is the defendant, Ashley Wellington. She says the plaintiff is young, unprofessional, and she doesn't appreciate being called a liar or a thief. Once she told him the computer had been stolen, he withheld her pay. He has no right to do that, because one thing has nothing to do with another. And when she told him that, he told her to shut the blank up, and she began to cry. Bottom line, she's happy her day in court's finally come, because she knows she's going to be a winner here today. She's accused of copping out on a computer. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,500 for inconvenience and defamation of character.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Pierre?
Yes.
All right. Doing business as Computer Service Center?
That's correct.
You are suing your former employee, Ashley Wellington, for $2,915, the value of a Dell computer that, according to you, the company gave her for work use and she has not returned to you. You are counterclaiming against him $1,500 for inconvenience of having your paycheck withheld and defamation of character. Okay. What happened here?
Well, basically, I run a small computer repair facility in Quincy, Massachusetts.
How long have you had that company?
5 years.
5 years.
Right.
And how long had Ms. Wellington been working for you before all this happened?
7 months.
Okay. And before those 7 months, had everything been okay?
Everything was okay, I would say, for about 5 months.
And then what happened?
During the last 2 months, basically, her performance basically deteriorated. She kept on calling in and out of work all the time. Basically, where the biggest frustration happened is that we were having a hiring seminar to hire another technician. Ashley, basically her job was to call all the job candidates, schedule the appointments, everything. And she did that great. But the problem was that the days of the appointments, she would call out. And I would never
Call
hear.
out meaning what? Calling
She would
sick?
Call out, yeah, exactly, sick from work. And basically just leave me there stranded. I don't know who's coming in. I don't know what's going on.
Well, isn't it on your schedule?
It's not on my schedule. She's supposed
It's
to give me the
supposed to be
schedule.
on your schedule.
Exactly. So,
And that's, in fact, why you gave her a laptop to take home.
well, she got the laptop. If she has to take it home, then take it home. But at least if you have it, send me an email, send me the schedule, send me something so I know what's going on. So basically, she didn't do any of that. The frustrations basically kept on piling up until basically mid-April.
Okay, and then what happened in mid-April?
Mid-April, on the 11th, Monday the 11th, everything basically was fine. She came into work, laptop was there. Tuesday the 12th, she basically said that she forgot the laptop at home. I'm just like, it basically was the last straw. I was just like, you know what, I don't even know why you have a laptop, because you're not doing any work from home. So I tell her, I'm like, listen, I'm going to set up a desktop for you, bring the laptop back. Wednesday, we have the hiring seminar again, so we have the candidates coming in. Guess what? Ashley disappears. She's not at work.
She calls in sick again?
Again.
Why were you calling in sick so much?
I was pregnant.
Okay.
And I called in that I did have a period of time where there was probably 4-day time period. I just couldn't go in.
Well, on Wednesday, she doesn't show up for work.
Wednesday,
now you're
she
mad.
doesn't show up again.
And what happens?
So Thursday, she comes in, and I asked, I'm like, hey, where's the computer? She said, oh, well, I didn't realize that you needed it back so soon. I'm like, can you just bring the computer in tomorrow? So she said she was going to bring it in the next day. That night, I was actually working.
See, at this point, I would be driving her to her house to get the computer out of the
I probably
house.
should
I'd be a
have.
little suspicious.
I
So go
probably
on.
should have. But that night, I was in the office late, and I get a text message from Ashley. She says, wow, my house was broken into. Wow. If I don't have bad luck, I don't know who does. But I will still be there tomorrow. Don't worry. Nothing about the laptop. Friday, I come in around 3 o'clock. I call her, and I say, hey, Ashley, where's the laptop? She's like, oh, I forgot it at home again. I'm really sorry. I'll bring it in on Monday. I'm like, okay. At that point, I had called the payroll administrator because I was asking him, is it legal for me to take the deduction from a paycheck in case she didn't have it? And he told me that they didn't see if it was a problem. So I was like, okay. But she didn't tell me she didn't have it. So I went to the payroll place to go get the checks. I get the checks. I come back around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I call her. Before I sign the check, I wanted to ask her again if she had the laptop. I asked her to come to the office, and she said she was busy, and her shift ends at 6 o'clock. So at 5:59, she runs inside my office, and she's like, "Oh, Jeff, I'm going to miss the train. Can I get my check so I can leave?" I'm like, before I sign the check, can you tell me where? And I didn't even get to finish the sentence. And she's like, "I don't have the laptop. It's stolen. Wah. All this kind of stuff. And she basically she was sitting there for like 20 minutes just giving me a bunch of stories.
Okay.
So, I mean,
what's your version on this whole computer thing?
I brought the computer home. The next day I go, I go to work early in the morning, I left the computer again, and my house is broken into, the computer is gone. And I have left it before where I didn't steal the computer.
May I see the paperwork from the burglary to your home?
Yeah.
So when she's sitting there 20 minutes giving you the sob story about the burglary,
And I
as you
didn't do
called
that
it,
either.
Did you give her her paycheck?
I did.
So you signed the check,
I signed the
you
check.
handed it over to her, but then apparently on that weekend you had a little change of heart.
Yes, that's correct.
And what was the change of heart?
The change of heart was because during her sob story, I asked her if she had called the police. She had told me that she did not call.
What day is that Friday? What date?
That was Friday the 15th.
Oh my God,
That's
you're
correct.
rich. You called in the burglary 4 days after the burglary?
So if an employee is accused or actually does steal something, can the employer then take the value of that item out of the employee's paycheck?
No, services were provided. You have to pay for the services.
Yeah, you have to pay even if the employee steals?
Absolutely, but you can meet him in the parking lot after work.
Okay, that's a fair compromise. What do you think?
I think they need to take it to court. It's up to the judge.
But you have to pay your salary.
Exactly.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
First of all,
answer what I just asked.
yeah.
You called it, so you had no burglary report
No.
on the day of the burglary where you claimed that the computer got stolen. And it isn't until he stops payment on the check on April 15 that you then on April 17 decide, I better call in a burglary. Yes or no?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, because you know how people are always coming home, finding a burglary and saying, wow, that stunk.
Unfortunately,
Put on the
that's
TV. What's on
happened to me
TV?
before.
You know, as opposed to calling the police.
I've done that before at the same location. Unfortunately, my house has been broken into, and
So you don't feel the need to call the police
I
when you're
have
home?
called the police, and they've came.
Not
and
this time, though.
No, I
No,
didn't.
you didn't call the police until he stopped payment on your check.
I
and
offered
now
to
you
pay
have
for this
an issue.
computer. I offered to
Am
pay
I
for the
right, though?
computer.
Because that makes me
He suggested
smell
I did
a
it.
rat.
He suggested
it makes
I
me
did it.
think that you're a liar and you did something else with the computer, because why else would you not, if you in fact lost the computer in a burglary on Thursday, have called in the burglary on the day of the burglary?
Morally, I would never steal anything from anybody, so.
See, don't you think it's a little suspicious that every day he's telling you, bring the computer back? Where's the computer? You're
That's not
starting
the
to
truth,
know
though.
that he's not happy with your performance. Things aren't looking good. All of a sudden, magically, the $2,700, $2,900 computer isn't showing up at work day after day. Oh, look at that, I forgot it again. Ain't that something? And then magically, there's a burglary that doesn't get called in until he stops your paycheck.
Your Honor,
do
I
you
offered to pay for the
understand
computer.
how a judge listening to that evidence might be a little bit suspicious?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
But I
now,
offered to pay
you
him.
then stop payment on the check,
Yes.
okay? And you then learn he stopped payment when? On Monday?
No, Friday night at midnight, I get a text message out of nowhere. He's like, Ashley, I want a writing and I want something in writing saying you owe me $1,500 for the computer.
Okay, can I see the text?
Unfortunately.
I have all the text documented.
Did
with
you text her that she owed you $1,500 for the computer?
No, all I asked her to do, I didn't say anything about any numbers. I even said it in the text. All I wanted to know is I wanted something in writing, documentation saying that she was planning to take responsibility for the computer.
Okay, can I
That's
see
all.
your text?
Yes.
Why were you thinking about it at midnight and texting your employee at midnight?
Because he was drinking and talking to his friends.
I need you to send me an email before 8 a.m. just stating that you had the machine and you were assuming responsibility for it. It's extremely important this is done before 8 a.m.
So it
you
took
don't have to put any money figures. I just need in writing that you plan to take responsibility. And then she, at 3:45 in the morning, Jeff, I woke up to this. It is absurd and you're acting extremely weird about this entire situation. We'll handle this Monday. I think you're taking this too far. And then from her 3 minutes later, I've never seen such a thing. It's clear we need to have only an employer-employee relationship from this day forward. You text me at midnight when I was just in your office as uncalled for. Then you text in the morning at 7:42. Again, sorry to text so late. Please call me when you're up. And then this is her at 10 in the morning. Jeff, you're taking this too far. It's uncalled for. We will talk on Monday when I get to work. The bank closes in 1 hour. If I don't cash my check, you're making me incapable of making it back to work. You didn't go back to work. He fire you? I take it? Of course, you rattled the cage once this happened and filed a complaint with the Attorney General, correct?
Oh, yeah.
For your paycheck. You then respond to that and you turn around, talk to a lawyer and say, I better give her her paycheck and just sue her for the computer. You ended up getting your paycheck in the end, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you got your paycheck.
Yes.
So what are you suing for in your counterclaim for $1,500?
Defamation of character. Everybody who went in there looking for me, he would lie and say I was just calling out no calls, no shows to work. And he told people that I stole the computer, that I actually stole it. I would never steal. Like,
Who did I say this to?
he said it
Do you have any proof of that?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So on your counterclaim, 0, because you have no proof. On your claim against her, what was the brand of the computer?
It's a Dell E6410.
Can I see the paperwork on the computer?
This was the original configuration. They don't sell that same model anymore, so I got a comparable model.
Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to order you to pay the depreciated value of the computer, because your value of a comparable Dell, which is a better new Dell, is not the measure of damages in court. It's the value of the item at the time of the loss is what you're entitled to. Otherwise, it'd be better to have stuff stolen or lost or ripped off or not returned, because now you get a brand new one, and that's not the idea of court. Is to make you whole, not to put you in a better position than you were in. So, since that computer apparently new goes for $1,118.69, I am going to find the value of the depreciated used computer to be, and I understand that you also added some stuff to it. Yeah. So I find the value of the computer to be $1,100. I'm going to order her to pay you $1,100. And on your counterclaim against him, 0.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
I just want to let him know that this whole thing had nothing to do with me not wanting to reimburse him for the computer. I did. I just felt that he went about it inappropriately by withholding my paycheck. He didn't even give me an opportunity for us to set
So then let me ask you a
something
question.
up.
When did you get your paycheck paid back to you?
Like 3-4 months later.
And so did you reach out to him after you got your paycheck and tell him how much do I owe?
We were
Okay,
at this
so
point.
then I guess you weren't intending to pay for the computer
I would have
unless you got
paid for
sued.
it.
Email,
Please,
text
stop.
message, or anything.
Thank you.
Well, coming out on the losing end of this case is the defendant right here. What's your reaction here? You tried to look good in front of the judge at the end with those last words.
That's the truth. I didn't steal the computer. I don't have need for it, and that's not my character. I wasn't raised like that. And if you can be reimbursed for it, that's fine. I was intending to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, where's the computer? I don't know. I think it's at home. You look so
We had a
whatever.
very, very, very more so playful relationship, which unfortunately led to this whole situation going in the wrong manner. But he gets his money
Whatever.
from the computer.
All right, so come on in here. What kind of a employee-employer relationship was this? Here, come on in here.
I mean, I'm a friendly guy, I know that, but I don't know. I mean,
Are you a fool?
I'm not a fool. She may think I am, but I'm not a fool. I know that computer wasn't stolen.
What happened to the computer, you think?
I have no idea. I have no idea, but I know her house didn't get broken into. For sure, I know that.
What do you think, Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, the employer has to pay the wages. Now, if the employee does something negligently or steals, then you can sue him separately. But if the employer withholds wages, they can be subject to penalties. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.